The amazing Merneptah Stele. In 1896, British archaeologist Flinders Petrie made a discovery in Thebes, Egypt, that would forever change our understanding of biblical history. While excavating Pharaoh Merneptah's mortuary temple, he unearthed a towering black granite slab inscribed with hieroglyphs, the Merneptah Stele. Dated to 1208 BC, this monument commemorates Merneptah's military victories, but its true significance lies in a single line that stunned scholars: the oldest mention of Israel outside the Bible. For centuries, skeptics dismissed Israel as a myth until this stone shattered their doubts, proving the Bible's account of a thriving Israelite nation during the time of the Judges. Friends, producing Bible archaeology videos demands a lot of time and efforts. So kindly give us an encouragement by clicking like on this video. A click does not cost you anything but gives us unlimited mental boost to do more of this kind of work. The Merneptah Stele glorifies the pharaoh's conquests over Libya and Canaan, but its final lines hold divine irony. In a poetic flourish, Merneptah declares, "Israel is laid waste, his seed is no more." This brief reference, etched in stone, confirms Israel's existence as a distinct people group over 3,200 years ago. The stele's language aligns perfectly with the Bible's depiction of pre-monarchic Israel, a tribal nation without a king, just as Judges 21:25 describes, "In those days, there was no king in Israel." When Egyptologist Wilhelm Spiegelberg translated the stele in 1897, he gasped at line 27. The hieroglyphs spelled Vayasrar, the Egyptian transliteration of Israel. Even more telling was the determinative symbol used, a glyph for a people, not a city-state. This matches the Bible's portrayal of Israel as a nomadic tribe settling in Canaan, distinct from established kingdoms like Ashkelon or Gezer. The stele's precision defies coincidence. It is a providential fingerprint of Scripture's accuracy. The hieroglyphs' spelling of Israel is no accident. The Egyptians used a rare determinative to classify Israel as a foreign ethnic group, not a geographical location. This mirrors Deuteronomy 7:1-6, where Israel is called to remain separate from Canaan's city-states. The stele's terminology aligns with the Bible's timeline, placing Israel in Canaan during the turbulent era of the Judges, when everyone did what was right in his own eyes, Judges 17:6. The stele lists Merneptah's defeated foes, Ashkelon, Gezer, Yanoam, and Israel. Unlike the others, Israel is identified not as a city but as a people, a detail that dovetails with Scripture. During the Judges period, Israel lacked centralized leadership, relying on tribal alliances, Judges 5:14-18. The stele's reference to Israel's seed, crops, being destroyed hints at raids on farmland, a tactic Egypt used to suppress rebellions. Yet the Bible shows Israel endured, proving God's faithfulness, Judges 3:30. Before the stele's discovery, skeptics claimed Israel was a late invention, emerging only in the 10th century BC under David. The stele's 1208 BC date demolishes this myth, confirming Israel's presence in Canaan centuries earlier. This aligns with the biblical timeline of the Exodus, circa 1446 BC, and the conquest under Joshua. As Psalm 33:4 declares, "The word of the Lord is right and true, a truth etched in Egyptian stone." Petrie, holding a candle to the stele in Thebes' dim ruins, sensed its monumental importance. He later wrote, "This will be better known than anything I've found." Little did he know this slab would become a cornerstone of biblical apologetics. Petrie's discovery was no accident. God preserved this stone to affirm His word in an age of doubt. Dated to the time of the Judges, the stele mirrors Israel's cyclical struggles with oppression and deliverance. Merneptah's boast of destroying Israel's seed echoes the curses of Deuteronomy 28, 15:18 for disobedience. Yet the Bible shows Israel survived, proving God's mercy, Judges 2:18. The Stele's grim declaration becomes a backhanded testimony to God's covenant faithfulness. If Israel was a nation by 1208 BC, the Exodus must precede it. The Bible's 480-year timeline, 1 Kings 6:1, places the Exodus circa 1446 BC, aligning with the Stele's evidence. This contradicts theories of radical theologians a 13th-century Exodus, which leave no time for Israel's rise. The Stele thus anchors the Exodus in history, affirming Numbers 23:19, God is not a man, that he should lie. Merneptah's claim that Israel was wasted collapsed under God's sovereignty. Within decades, Egypt's new kingdom crumbled, while Israel thrived under David and Solomon. The Pharaoh's pride echoes Isaiah 19:11-13, where Egypt's wise men are called fools. Today, the Stele stands as a relic of human arrogance and God's unshakable promises. The Stele's use of the people determinative for Israel matches the Bible's portrayal of them as distinct from Canaan's nations. Deuteronomy 7:6 calls Israel a people holy to the Lord, and the Stele unknowingly echoes this. Even pagan carvers became unwitting scribes of divine truth. The Stele was found toppled and buried in Merneptah's temple, a twist of providence that preserved it for modern eyes. Like the Dead Sea Scrolls, it survived to confront modern skepticism. Psalm 119:89 declares, Your word, Lord, is eternal, it stands firm in the heavens. The Stele is Earth's echo of that heavenly truth. Secular historians once dismissed Israel's early history as legend. The Stele forced them to concede, the Bible's Israel is historical. This slab is a weapon in the apologists' arsenal, proving Scripture's reliability. As 1 Peter 3:15 urges, we must always be prepared to give an answer, and the Stele is a compelling answer. Just as the Merneptah Stele confirms Israel's antiquity, the Teldan Stele, 9th century BC, names the House of David. Together, these stones form an archaeological chorus. The Bible's kings and nations are real. Skeptics' arguments crumble like Pharaoh's dynasty. Merneptah's campaign failed to erase Israel. By the time of David, Israel was a regional power, while Egypt declined. Proverbs 21:30 reminds us, no wisdom, no insight, no plan can succeed against the Lord. The Stele is a monument to this truth. The hieroglyphs' phonetic spelling of Israel matches Hebrew pronunciation, defying claims the name evolved later. God ensured even Egypt's script would preserve Israel's identity, fulfilling Numbers 23:9, a people dwelling alone, not reckoned among the nations. Some scholars date the Exodus to circa 1250 BC, but the Stele's 1208 BC reference leaves no time for Israel's rise. The Bible's 1446 BC Exodus aligns perfectly, proving God's timeline is precise. Joshua 21:45 states, Not one word of all the Lord's promises failed, the Stele confirms it. The Stele's reference to Israel's crops, seed, echoes God's warning in Deuteronomy 11:17, disobedience would bring famine. Yet Israel survived, foreshadowing Christ, the seed of Abraham, Galatians 3:16. Even pagan carvings point to redemption. Merneptah saw Israel as a threat. God saw them as his covenant people. The Pharaoh's boast is now a Sunday school lesson, proof that the Lord brings the counsel of the nations to nothing, Psalm 33:10. Merneptah's dynasty collapsed within decades, while Israel outlasted empires. Isaiah 40:8 thunders, the grass withers, the flower fades, but the word of our God stands forever. The Stele, meant to glorify a pharaoh, now glorifies God. Just as Merneptah's pride failed, today's critics who mock the Bible will fade. The stele stands as a warning. Do not be deceived, God is not mocked, Galatians 6:7. His word endures. The stele lists cities like Gezer, later conquered by Solomon, 1 Kings 9:16. Its geography matches Joshua's campaigns, proving the Bible's historical precision. Every detail is a brushstroke in God's masterpiece. The stele equips believers to defend the faith. Like Paul in Acts 17:28, we can cite secular sources to affirm biblical truth. This stone is a gift to the church in an age of doubt. Even pagan rulers unwittingly glorify God. Proverbs 21:1 says, "The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord." Merneptah's chisel became God's pen, inscribing Israel's name for eternity. Housed in Cairo's Egyptian Museum, the stele draws pilgrims and scholars. Visitors gaze at its hieroglyphs, unaware they're reading a divine memo: the Bible is true. Skeptics meet their match in a 3,200-year-old stone. If God preserved Israel's name in granite, how much more will He preserve His word? The stele shouts, "Trust the Bible." Psalm 19:7-9. Just as Israel survived Merneptah, they will survive the end times, Zechariah 12-14. The stele is a preview of God's ultimate victory. The stele reminds us, always be prepared to give an answer, 1 Peter 3:15. Archaeology isn't just for scholars, it's a tool for evangelism. Friends, please do not miss any of our valuable apologetics video. Click the subscribe button and the bell icon immediately. This will be a blessing to you and also an invaluable encouragement to us. The Merneptah stele joins Joshua's altar, Joshua 4:9, as a silent witness to God's covenant. Let the stones speak. The Bible is God's infallible word, a lamp to our feet, Psalm 119:105, in a dark world.